Hi and welcome back. So this is a new series called Learn Python by Doing, and in these videos we'll talk about key functionalities of Python so you can learn this programming language faster. Okay, so the first thing or the first function I will talk about is the zip function. I have three things to say about the zip function. The first one is that it takes iterables. That means lists, dictionaries, tuples, strings, and zips them into tuples. Okay, so I have to make a video talking only about iterables because you can also define your own iterables. The second thing is that this is useful for parallel iteration, so we'll see what this means in a moment. And the third thing is that it returns a zip object, which is an iterator of tuples. So let's first create a list called countries. And okay, so this example will be lists. And in these countries, I'm going to include mine, which is Ecuador, Peru, Colombia, and the USA. And the capitals of these countries, which are Quito, Lima, Bogota, and Washington, D.C. Now let's create a zip object called countries and capitals. And the first argument will be countries and the second will be capitals. Now let's print countries and capitals. And as you can see, this returned a zip object, as I told you in the third point, which is an iterator of tuples. So all iterators have this special method called next. So in this next, with this next method, we can access the first element of this iterator, which is this tuple, Ecuador and Quito. So what zip did was to zip this element of the countries list with this element of the capitals list. So let's execute next again. Now we have Peru zipped with Lima. Again, Colombia with Bogota, and again, USA with Washington, D.C. So what happens if I execute this code once again? It gave me an error called a stop iteration. So why did this error appear? So iterators can be iterated just once. If you want to iterate through this object again, we have to create the object again. So I'm going to create the object again, and now I can call the next method again and iterate through this object. So that's what an iterator is. And as I told you, now we're going to talk about parallel iteration. So we can, in a for loop, say for country, comma capital, in countries and capitals, print both of them. So country and capital. So we have to create the object again. And now we iterated through country and capital in parallel. So we could have done something with country, and separately we could have done something with capital, but in the same iteration of the for loop. So this is what parallel iteration means. Okay, so one more thing is that suppose we have another country here. So suppose Chile. What happens if we create the zip object and we print it? So we can print the elements of this zip object if we create a list out of it. So we're going to say list countries and capitals, and as you can see, the result is the same. Chile is not included in this list of tuples. So if we delete it, it's the same result. Nothing happened. So let's add it again. Nothing happened. So why is this? It's because zip takes the length of the shortest list, in this case capitals. So it takes the length of this list, and it takes the elements of countries and capitals and starts zipping them until the last element of capitals, which is Washington. But if we include the capital of Chile, which is Santiago, then this last tuple is included in our list of tuples. Okay, and the last thing is that I told you that it takes any number of iterables, so we can put here some cities like Guayaquil, I don't know, Trujillo, Medellin, New York, and Valparaiso. Okay, so great. Now let's see. We have to include these cities in the arguments of the zip object. And now we have the same tuples, but with a third element in each of these tuples. So Ecuador, Quito, and Guayaquil, Peru, Lima, Trujillo, Colombia, Bogotá, Medellin, USA, Washington, D.C., New York, and Chile, Santiago, Valparaiso. So you can take any number of iterables. The zip function takes any number of iterables and zips them into tuples. Okay, so that's with lists. With dictionaries, it's almost the same. So let's see what happens with dictionaries. Let's create, I don't know, products. Let's see, an apple, and the price, pineapple. I don't know, let's put here tech products. So another Apple, which is an iPhone. So this costs a lot of money, and Windows, I don't know, I'm just putting random numbers here. Okay, so now let's create a zip object, products and tech products. And here I'm going to say products and tech products. So what will be the output of this? Let's see, products and tech products. Okay, so as you can see, zip, when you pass a dictionary to the zip function, it takes the keys of the dictionaries and zips them together. So apple is with iPhone and pineapple is with Windows. Suppose you want now the values, so of the keys of these dictionaries, then you can do the following: products.values, and the same with this one. Now 0.5 is zipped with 1000, 0.7 with 600, and so on. So you can remove, for example, the values here. And now 0.5 is zipped with iPhone, which is the key of these tech products, and 0.7 is zipped with the key of this tech product, which is Windows. So you can play with that. Now let's see what happens with tuples. Well, you can actually guess it's the same thing here. So I'm going to actually copy and paste this, but instead of these being lists, I'm going to change them to tuples. So to create tuples, you just change the brackets to parentheses, and here brackets and parentheses, and let's see, countries and capitals. What's the result? So it's the same result as this, a list of tuples with these elements here. Finally, let's see what the zip function does with the strings. So let's put here strings. So first string will be, I don't know, another country, which will be Ecuador, and the capital of this country, which is Quito. So country and capital will be the object, the zip object, country and capital. So we're passing only a string here. So let's see what the result of this is. Country and capital. List is not defined. Oh, sorry, list. Okay, so what the zip function did here is it took the first character, which is capital E, and zipped it with the first character of capital, which is Q. So that's the first tuple here, E and Q. The second tuple is C and U and I, A and T, and D and O. And it stopped there because Ecuador has two additional characters, which are O and R. So it took only Ecuad and zipped it with Quito. So this is everything I'm going to say about the zip function. As you can see, it's very useful for parallel iteration specifically, but it can have another application. So I hope you like this video. See you in the next one.